I recently faced a father's worst nightmare: two men in a white work truck smashed straight through our garage, demanding we comply with their rules. And you know what? They didn't expect my 13-year-old son, standing firm behind me with a steady rifle in his hands, to force them to back down. But let me rewind a second, because the story didn't start with a crash. It started with the kind of quiet you almost never notice, the kind that fills a house when everyone is safe and every little thing just fits. My name's Mark Walker. I'm not anybody special. Most days, my main job is to brew coffee, tell bad dad jokes. Sometimes my kid even laughs, and try to keep the lawn from looking like a science project gone wrong. My wife Lisa, though, she's the real brains of this operation. Lisa doesn't miss a thing. She connects dots you didn't know were there. Our son Cole is 13, perched in that weird in-between of still needing his parents but already showing more steadiness than most grown men. He's got this quiet observation about him. Sometimes I swear he sees right through people. We live in a small, no-drama neighborhood. The kind where a deer flattening Mrs. Givens's flowers is big news. We picked this house for one reason. No HOA. I mean it known. We wanted peace, privacy. A place where the only committee we ever answer to is the one sitting around our kitchen table. And for a long time, that's exactly what we had. Sunday morning started like any other. Sunlight crawling across the kitchen tile, Lisa half smiling at her tablet, probably winning some argument online. Cole stretched out on the rug with his model car gears, all quiet and content. I just poured my second cup of coffee, thinking maybe I'd fix that squeaky door hinge, when everything changed. It was a rumble wrong, coming up our driveway way too fast. Before I could even move, before Lisa could look up, it hit. A crash so hard the walls shook, glass tinkled to the floor, and my mug skittered across the counter and shattered. For a split second, there was just silence, the kind that presses against your eardrums. My brain was still catching up as I ran to the window. Out front, a battered white work truck was embedded halfway through my garage. The grill where my workbench used to be, steam hissing, the garage door totally obliterated. But the part that made my hair stand up? Two men, big, thick-necked, climbing out, not dazed calm. They wore black shirts, bold HOA logos across the chest, cheap ECA patches on the sleeves. One slammed the truck door, pulled out a baton, gave our porch rail a threatening rap clang. Clang. The other checked a clipboard, scanning the house, looking for a reaction. "You hit my house with a truck," I called. The door chain stretched tight. "Final compliance," the big one said, like he was handing out parking tickets. Lisa's voice cut in from behind, cool as a lake in winter, "Spell jurisdiction." The guy blinked, thrown off. But his partner leaned in, breath sour through the gap. "Open up or we make a door." That was when I realized. This wasn't an accident or a drunk driver. This was an attack, staged and planned, and we were alone with it. The big one banged the door again, baton clattering. "Last chance, Walker. We have an order to remove non-compliant structures." He gestured toward Lisa's vegetable garden. I almost laughed. Did they really think they'd beat our tomatoes into submission? But the joke wasn't funny anymore. These weren't random criminals. They knew my name. Their clipboard had our address. This was targeted. Months back, we'd gotten a fancy letter from Evergreen Crest Association, some shiny new HOA on the far side of the ridge. They warned us they were expanding their authority to protect property values. Listed violations: our mailbox, the garden, the color of our trim. I'd sent a certified letter right back, quoting county records, reminding them we weren't in their jurisdiction. Never expected this. "Mark, what do they want?" Lisa whispered. "To scare us," I said. And it was working, though she sounded more mad than afraid. The big man banged again. "Open the door, Walker. Final enforcement. It can be easy or it can be hard." Inside, Cole was stone still. But then I noticed he'd slipped away, coming back wearing his tactical vest from our range days, holding his rifle low, safe, finger off the trigger. My stomach lurched. Wasn't playing. He was defending his home. The fear in me started burning away, replaced by anger. They'd brought this to our door. I tried my Finino service. Lisa checked hers, nothing. The landline, dead. Whoever planned this had thought of everything: ram the garage, cut the lines, kill the cell signal with a black box tucked in the bushes by the mailbox. Lisa saw it first, that blinking little antenna proof of a premeditated federal crime, left in plain sight because they never expected us to fight smart. That's the twist, right? Bullies count on your fear, not your wits. But Lisa, with her eye for detail, had found their mistake. The doorbell camera, battery backup, was still recording, catching every word and face. And there, gathering dust on our bookshelf, a drone with a camera, Cole's Christmas present. Lisa's idea. Launch it from his upstairs window high over the roof to film everything from above. Cole's face lit UPA mission he could handle. Within minutes, he had eyes on the yard, live video streaming to Lisa's laptop, while I stood guard with the rifle, heart thudding in my ears. Through the drone, we saw it all, their faces, the license plate, the text messages, the goons growing more frantic as the deadbolt held. But our help wasn't coming. The jammer kept us sealed in a digital bubble. Then it hit me. Tommy, our neighbor, king of the ham radio, could reach the sheriff from his Cold War-era antenna farm 2 houses down. I slipped out the back, running through hedges and across yards, every snap of a twig sounding like a gunshot. Tommy listened, eyes wide, then sprang into action, calling dispatch on a county emergency channel. 2 armed men, home invasion, jammer in use. The reply, units dispatched, ETA 6 to 8 minutes. Keep your family safe. 8 minutes. Felt like 8 hours. Back inside, everything was changed. Cole stood sentry, Lisa monitoring the drone. And just when we thought things might break our way, a new player arrived, a sleek black SUV, parking behind the battered white truck. Karen Johnson, the HOA president herself, watching from her air-conditioned throne, texting new orders to her goons. Final compliance. We caught the message on the drone feed. Saved it, time-stamped, 3 copies video, audio, and a screenshot of the text. Now we had everything: truck, men, jammer, orders from the boss. But the door was giving way. The splintering wood groaned. The sirens were still distant. I clutched the rifle, praying I wouldn't have to use it, anger boiling at the thought that my son, my family, were under siege because someone couldn't take no for an answer. Lisa stood beside me, steady as stone. Cole, quiet, resolute. This is the part no one tells you about how small your world becomes, how every sense sharpens when the line between home and chaos is a single locked door. And then, salvation sirens wailing, cruisers cresting the hill, deputies fanning out with stopped sticks and drawn weapons. The goons panicked, dropped everything, tried to run. The white truck peeled away, boxed in by the sheriff's cruisers, tires blown out. The black Sufferins rolling command center trapped. Deputies moved in, ordered everyone out. Karen stepped out, hair perfect, outrage simmering, trying to claim it was a misunderstanding, that her men were just contractors. But the deputies weren't having it. Lisa handed over the laptop doorbell footage, drone video, the text from Karen, even the jammer itself pulled from our bushes. Sergeant Miller, calm and professional, looked at the evidence, then at Karen. Your community ends at the ridgeline. This property isn't yours. And even if it was, driving a truck through a garage and using a signal jammer aren't compliance theory felonies. The click of cuffs around Karen's wrists was sweeter than any justice I could have imagined. The real kicker? Right as they're leading Karen away, 2 other ECA board members pull up, summoned to witness her victory, only to see their president in handcuffs, the whole scheme unraveling. Lisa made sure they saw the evidence, the text, the forged violation letters. You could see the revolt happening in real time, the whole HOA board turning on her, desperate to escape the fallout. The deputies did their jobs, impounded the cars, bagged the batons, took statements, secured video, collected the jammer. Karen's power shattered in minutes. Her empire of intimidation turned to dust when faced with actual law. The DA moved fast, too much evidence to ignore. The goons flipped, confessed. Karen pled out, lost her board seat, her reputation, her future. The board issued a groveling apology. Their insurance fixed our garage and paid for our trouble. The whole neighborhood started talking about boundaries, about rights, about what happens when you push a quiet family too far. In the end, we rebuilt. I tore down the broken wall, rewired everything, rebuilt my bench. Cole, more thoughtful now, didn't brag or gloat. He'd faced something heavy and stood his ground, learned how to hold the line without crossing it. Lisa and I talked more than ever about fear, about resolve, about how far a parent will go to protect home. When the last board was up, I hung a cedar sign at the driveway. Not our name, not a threat, just a promise. We don't start fights, but we finish them by law, by honor, by family. It's a quiet flag where the road meets our home. A reminder that peace isn't weakness and a castle isn't made of walls, it's made of people who refuse to break. So, that's my story, how a perfect Sunday morning got torn open, how a family stood together, and how a bully in a suit lost her little kingdom. But now I've got to ask, when does a community's right to protect its value cross the line into tyranny? Where do you draw your boundaries? I'd love to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. Let's talk about justice, about standing your ground, about what it really means to be at home.